Welcome to our channel. We're so glad that you joined us today. And we have some interesting information for you today about...
Aren't we always interesting?
Well,
maybe not always.
My sewing project in particular, which you will see after Dory shows us her wonderful success. Mine was rescued. We'll just put it that way.
Okay.
So, okay, how about our inspirational saying?
Okay, how about it? I love this one. This is taken from my book, Make Every Day Beautiful. And it says, what you tell yourself will lift you up or tear you down.
I like that. And you know what? That fits perfectly with what I'm going to share today with my...
Our thoughts can really make a difference.
Mm-hmm, they can.
So, you know,
yes.
Yeah, it's what are we telling ourselves? What are we saying?
Yeah, yes. And we can, our thoughts, we're in control of yourself. What you tell yourself. So you, ultimately, if your brain is saying, oh, it's going to be a terrible day today, change that and say, it's going to be a beautiful day. I'm alive. It's wonderful. It's pouring rain, which nourishes the earth. It gives us water to drink, gives us food. It's beautiful and it sounds wonderful.
And I'm so glad it's raining because now I get to read my book and get to stay in and do something that I want. I can sew this afternoon, you know.
Yeah, you can change.
Yeah, make it a positive.
Yes. Yes. So, okay, enough of that.
So our challenge was, so these have come back in style. They were in style a long time ago. Then they kind of lost favor, I think. Mm-hmm. And they're back in style. They're wraps.
They're on trend.
They're on trend.
I think that's the correct term.
Yeah, in fact, I showed the one that I had made to someone, and they said, oh, I was just looking at those on Amazon.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
want to sell yours? I'm like, no, I'm not selling it.
I made it for me to wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which do we want to see first?
Yours,
mine?
Definitely.
Okay, mine.
Yes.
So I made McCall's 8241, and I made the view with, I think that's A. No, that's C.
See, yes. And part of the challenge was to use a knit fabric, a sweater knit fabric that we had.
Yes. And I have no idea where I got this fabric from. Not a clue.
It's really pretty though.
Yeah, so let me show you. I'm into scrunchies now. Every time I make something, I make a scrunchie. So I have a scrunchie out of it too.
Yes, you do. Yep.
Yeah, and so I made this so simple to make. This pattern is really, really easy to make. Let me see, let me get it together here. Yeah, so this is the cape I made. And I even put, whoops, as you can see here.
Hey, what do we got there?
There we go.
We got it tucked up in
Yeah. So this is the back side.
Oh, is this the back side?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's turn it around and show the front side.
Okay, let's show the front side.
Which looks a lot like the back side.
The only reason I know the difference is because on the
seam.
neck. The seam on the neck.
There we go.
But see, and I made these, I put the fringes on it. Now, the pattern does show you how to make your own fringes. I didn't make the fringes.
Who's going to make their own fringe? Well, somebody may.
Somebody may, but I didn't need to because I'm going to tell you my fringe story.
Okay, her fringe story.
My fringe story after I tell you about this. So the sleeve is so easy because, as you can see, this is all one piece, and it drops here. And then this was the sleeve that is twice the length. You fold it in half and sew it into the seam. So then you don't have any kind of...
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
No cuff at all.
No
Plus,
cuff.
it keeps your wrist warm.
Yes.
Yes.
And you'll see on my reveal, it's a little bit long for me. I'm short-armed, I'm short-legged, so I probably should have made it a little smaller.
But you know what? You can wear it down over your hand a little bit, and it keeps you warm.
Yeah. So I really am happy with the way this turned out.
It's really cute.
It looks like a blanket, but
really
it's
cute.
very, very nice and warm. I love it. Easy to make. I really suggest that pattern.
Well, that's mine. Where's yours?
What happened to my pattern? Or where did that pattern go? Meanwhile, I'm going to tell you about the fringe. Just so that you guys can be aware that it's something that you might look for. If you want to have some fringe on hand, look at how much I have left. So this fringe, this whole thing, was on sale at Hobby Lobby for $3.75, the entire boat.
A few years ago.
Yes. I do have to say it was a few years ago.
Because we have been thrifting for a long time, and when something this good comes along, even though we didn't have a purpose for it at the time, Dory is like, I'm buying that. Now, you see what Dory did with it in making the cape or that wrap, whatever, however it's called. I looked at this and could only think of furniture, which, you know, really limited it. But it's perfect for what she's used it for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I know some people are like, if I don't use it within a year, I'm going to get rid of it.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me in sewing.
No, I like to get, because we are bargain shoppers, I saw it for $3.75, not per yard, but for the whole bolt. I'm like, I'm getting it. And I have enough left over if I want to put some on furniture again.
You do. You
I
certainly
mean,
do.
there's some furniture to match my cape.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this again is McCall's. Where is that?
Oh, it fell down. That's my,
It's a runaway pattern. Yeah. McCall's 37. I don't know where that came from. Oh, $3.75 was the price for that. Okay, McCall's 8241. I made View C, which is the lady on the step there with the fringe. It does give instructions to make your own fringe. I, however, had some fringe at home that would work just fine.
Show them the line drawings on the back. I think they might be interested in that.
So, the line drawings are right there. It's very, as you can see, it's very simple. It's very easy to make. And yeah, I love it.
Wonderful.
Want to see me model it?
I do want to, so I got to quit fussing. Yes, I do want to see you model it.
Okay, let's take a look.
Okay.
A walk in the park.
Okay. Very nice. It looks very nice on you. It's appropriate for this time of the year.
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice. Do you think you'll ever wear it in the house too to just keep you warm, or as an outer covering?
I know I'll definitely wear it as an outer covering. I'm going on a little trip in the first week of November, and I'm definitely going to take this.
Yeah.
I think
that'll
be
fun.
perfect for that. So I don't know. We keep our house kind of inside at a nice
You keep it warm.
warm temperature. We'll just see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it would be something that you could just curl up in the house with.
Yeah. It'd be nice. Yeah.
Why not? So tell us about your make.
My make?
Yes.
Okay. My make is from Butterick 6392.
Cute.
Is that cute?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Nate says, oh no.
And these are the line drawings for it. So my attempt to make was this one here.
Attempt.
You will see my make does not look anything like any of these on here.
Did you change the pattern up?
Not on purpose.
Oh.
Okay?
All right, we'll leave it with that. We'll see what you got to say about it.
Okay. The pattern was pretty self-explanatory, the instructions. I did have an issue with one of the instructions because I'm pretty much a visual person.
Okay.
And what the written instructions did not match the visual instructions. And so that confused me. Didn't take much to get me confused sometimes.
That would confuse me too, though.
Yeah,
I mean, because
it did.
I get in my own head.
So, and a lot of this pattern is one pieces. The back is put on the fold, and then the rest, like the front is one piece. You cut one piece. The left front is one piece. The right front is another piece. So you cut. After you cut it, the fold out, you open it up and you do one piece. Well, I didn't have. What I did was I took the pattern piece, and one pattern piece was right side up. One pattern piece was upside down.
Right.
But then that made it so the fabric is not so you can exchange it. There is a definite right and wrong side to the fabric. I did not think that out. This is the right side.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
This is the wrong side.
So now, when a pattern shows you that it should be upside down or right side up, you have to pay attention to that.
Yes,
Because it will make a difference depending on the fabric you have.
So I think it's best if we show what it looks like on me before I go into further explanation, because it will help you to understand some of the challenges that I had and the changes that I needed to make.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so just as a review, this is what the pattern is supposed to have looked like when it was completed. All right,
Let's see what it looks like on.
take a peek.
All right. Yeah. It's cute, but it doesn't look like that pattern to me.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
What happened is because one of the things that I did wrong when I laid out the front pieces, the right and the left. Remember I said one was upside down.
Right.
Okay. And I could have flipped it inside out, which is what I probably should have done.
Oh.
But the V-neck ended up being part of the sleeve.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah, and because this is a sweater and it's stretched, I put the bias tape all around it, the edge, and sewed it, and
On
I'm
the sleeve neck?
on the sleeve, which ended up being the neck line, the neck area. That sounds really confusing, but you'd have to see the piece to understand how that works.
Yeah. So then
And
you had
so-
to tear it apart?
I did. Oh, this fabric I could not tear apart because once you sew that in there,
It's it.
it's
That's it.
you. I couldn't find the stitches. I can't. There
Yeah,
was no
right.
way.
No.
It's just
Yeah.
so when I laid it
So-
out, I laid the back out, which is all nice one piece.
The back was easy.
The back was easy. But what happened is the V-neck came out like this for the sleeve, and that's when I noticed that I did something wrong. I'm like,
Trying to picture that.
yeah, I laid it on the floor. I'm like, something's not
Something's
right.
not right.
So I laid this out, and I got the fronts down there, and I put it on there to sew it, and I'm like, oh no. I put the side seam as the seam down the middle.
Oh.
So the front, what I did was use the side seam went here,
Mm-hmm.
where the sleeve would be, the opening, and thankfully this just had kind of a straight, it didn't have like the cutout sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And then the V for the neck was here. So I'm like,
Now what?
okay, now what do I do? So I'm like, okay, I just laid it down there and I said, I'll put the seams together, and I cut off the point. I
There
just
you go.
cut straight, cut the point off.
Oh, so is that why the binding is... No, it's made that way. On
It's
purpose.
made this way on purpose to have the binding on one side.
Okay, yes.
Okay, it's made that
All
way
right.
on purpose. Okay, so the next thing I did,
Doesn't look like this.
yeah, it doesn't look like that at all. So I'm like, okay, so this is where it goes with that saying.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like,
What you tell yourself will lift you up or tear you down.
yeah, so I'm like, okay, do I just chuck this? Am I done with this? And I'm like, no, I want to rescue it because I really do want a sweater. I do want something I can wear, to keep warm, like you've seen with me modeling it.
I'm distracted by Tabby.
Yeah, Tabby's down here.
That's
She's
so
a little bit of a sassy cat, or Dory would pick her up, but she doesn't always like to be held
Yeah.
unless
Can
it's
I-
on her terms.
Yeah, I can't even get a shot of her.
So
She's already turned her back to the camera.
now this is the part
Yeah.
that
Can you come up
frustrated
here?
me.
Can you come up here? No, she's not going to. She's
When
camera
it-
shy.
When it came to the part where you stitch, the side seams, you actually just leave a hem in it. You don't sew the side seams together. You're not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be open. The side seams are supposed to be
Oh.
open, and there's like a ruffle or a flap opening there. You can see.
Oh, yeah, right. That's why it
Looking at-
doesn't look like this. See, if
That's
it was
open.
just sewed, yeah, that's open.
That's open.
Oh.
So what happened was,
It's amazing you made your own pattern.
I did. It was like,
Good job, good job. Good save.
What happened is, see this? see, it's got right sides together, right?
Mm.
Right sides together, and then it tells you to stitch this. Well, I hadn't sewed the side seams yet at this point. So it says with wrong sides together, pin the front to the back. Well, those are right sides together.
Yeah.
I didn't read it. I just looked at it and said, oh, let me sew it up. Not thinking about how this was, the finished product was supposed to look.
Oh.
So I had those sewed up from the hem, you know, up. And I'm like, I took it off the machine and I went to try it on to see how it went. And I went, something's drastically wrong here.
Something's not quite working.
So actually, you know, after I had cut that point off, you know, thinking I was going to sew up the side seams, I'm like, these are my side seams. There was no need to sew a side seam. So I have all this extra flap. So what I did, I'm like, okay, now do I cut that flap off? What do I do with that flap? All that extra.
What did you do?
I'll show you what I did. I wanted to keep my sleeve opening, and of course it needed to be faced, so I folded the flap in from the top there.
Okay.
I'll turn it inside out and show you.
This is complicated.
So what I did was, see, there's my flap that I turned inside, turned on the inside like a facing, and then I kept that flap all the way down, and I tacked it in. So I actually have a little extra warmth, is what I'm thinking.
Okay,
See?
that's positive thinking.
Yeah, so I just used it, but that was supposed to be on the outside, this extra.
Right, that was supposed to be
And
the
it
winging
just
part.
didn't, yeah. And so I tacked it so it wouldn't be pulling on me. Oh, I guess I didn't tack that one very much.
Tacked one side, not the other.
Yeah, the side's better tacked. But, you know, I did both sides, tacked it that way, and you can see it doubles it, it makes it nice and warm. And as long as I used straight stitch on this fabric, it did not ruffle. So on the bottom of my hem, I'm like, I'm not going to turn this thing under 2 times because it would be way too bulky. So I thought, okay, I'm going to zigzag it. And the zigzag kind of ruffled and waffled it, which you probably noticed in my modeling, which is fine with me. I don't mind that. And I thought it just kind of added to the fabric.
So is this something you think you'll wear a lot of?
This I'll wear a lot of, yeah. I will. I'm going to put it, I like to wear layers of clothes. I could even wear it over this, you know, what I have on. So this would be nice to wear to keep warm.
To keep warm.
Unlike Dory, we don't keep our house very warm. So
I have a much smaller house than you do.
Yeah, that's true. So that was my rescue of this fabric. And I particularly bought this fabric special.
I was going to say, where did you buy
make
this fabric? From fabric.com?
Okay. Fabric.com.
In the Fast Friday.
Yeah, Fast Friday. And I do like it. I don't think it was very challenging. I couldn't, there was no way for me to mark any of
the markings because it wouldn't show up.
It doesn't show up.
Yeah.
So I taped it. I used that tape, that really thin tape, and
nice.
I put, wherever there was a marking, I put the tape.
Good idea.
And some of it, I had to write on it what it was. Is it a notch? Is it a large dot, a small dot? So that's what I did, and I rescued it.
Now, do you think you'll try this pattern again, only making it the way it shows it?
Well,
Like this?
what I did is when I turned it inside out, before I had tacked down the little the ruffle on the edge, I put it on inside out to see what it would look like. I wasn't thrilled.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not going to make it
She's
again.
not going to make them again.
I won't make it again.
Yeah.
It just didn't have as much of a flow there.
Yeah.
As
Now,
what it showed
do you
on
think
the
it was
pattern.
the fabric then?
I'm thinking so. I think my fabric was too heavy for this.
Yeah. Now, does it say to use a knit?
It says, oh yeah, it's a sweater knit. Where is it? Well, now see, Georgette, Chalice, Jersey knits, sweater knits.
Okay, it does say it. Yeah.
So
that was close.
Yeah. So you know, it was quite the challenge.
But
we got through it, and I was going to make something positive out of it, and I did. And I think I really will get a lot of wear out of it this winter. I really do.
If you hadn't said which pattern you used, nobody would know.
Nobody's going to know, but all of you.
Yes, all of you. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
It's our secret.
So, for our next challenge, and I thought this was going to be so easy, which it was.
Yeah.
It was the user that Plus, this one little pattern detail really threw me.
Yeah.
That really threw me. Because I always just kind of look at the pattern and go,
Oh, I can figure it out.
I can figure it out.
I know
Because
what they're doing. I see the picture.
yeah, I've sewn often enough. I know what I'm doing. Pay attention to reading those details. And usually, if it's something odd, they put it in bold print or italicize it, make it bigger so you can catch it. And I did read it. But you know, when you're sewing it late at night when you're tired and
You're supposed to be sleeping.
you're supposed to be sleeping.
Well, very good.
Anyway.
Thank you for that. So what we have decided to do for our next challenge is let Nate help us.
Can you help us, Nate? You want to help?
Yeah. So what I've done is I put all kinds of different suggestions of things that we can do
For sewing.
for sewing.
Yeah.
In this box, that's for sewing. And Nate, can you pick one piece of paper out of here?
Look at
All
all the
kinds of 'em.
suggestions.
Pick one
Take
paper
one piece of paper out.
and hand it to your mommy or to your Aunt Dory. Which one? That one?
There we go. Okay.
That one? Want to hand it to me? Thank you.
So now this is going to tell us what our next sewing challenge or item is going to be. Okay?
You ready?
Okay. I don't know if I want to know.
Pants. We're going to make pants or
Oh!
slacks.
Okay, pants or slacks. Any kind of pants.
Yes, any kind.
Okay.
Well, except for pajama.
Yeah, no pajama
No
pants.
pajama
But I
pants.
mean, like, I could make leggings.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes. She
Okay.
can make leggings.
Yay!
Pants.
Pants.
So that's our next one.
Thank you,
Thank
Nate.
you, Nate. You did a good job. Yay.
Okay. And if anybody has any ideas,
We can put them in the
we
box.
can put them in the box so we can draw out, and then we'll put that. We'll have a video on it coming up
Yeah, on the
Okay.
make that we do.
on the work that we do.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. So we
All
hope
right.
you enjoyed our video this week. Remember, what you tell yourself will lift you up or tear you down. It's all what you think,
Yes.
and you can change that thinking.
Yes, you have control of your thoughts.
So instead of saying, I've always thought this way, say, I'm thinking a new way. I'm thinking something good.
There you go.
Yeah. And you too can sew.
That's right. And if you know what? If it doesn't turn out like the pattern looked, and you like it, you can make it work for you, you're good to go.
Yeah.
That's all that counts.
All right, so don't forget to subscribe, like, thumbs up,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yes.
and leave a comment.
And we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye.